everyone. This is Morgan Roth. I will be your instructor for this semester. I just wanted to take a quick minute to introduce myself. Let's talk about myself professionally first. I graduated from UCSD, the University of California, San Diego. My area of expertise, I suppose, is cellular and molecular biology. I did a lot of work with mitochondria, so that might come up throughout the semester. Whenever I hear the word mitochondria, I kind of light up about that. So that's why. I've been teaching since 2009, so about a little over 10 years now. This is my third year at Long Beach City College. Before that, I was a full-time instructor at the University of Guam, which is where I spent kind of a lot of my childhood. Then I taught mostly anatomy and physiology there, a little bit of environmental biology as well. Then after that, I left and I moved to the Monterey area. And at that time, I worked as an adjunct. I worked at 3 different colleges at the same time. It's a lot of driving. So I'm so thankful to be here at Long Beach City College, not just because of that, but because of the wonderful students that are here. I also did a little bit of work as an instructional lab technician in Chula Vista as well. I also want to introduce and talk about myself sort of as a person as well. And the reason I do that is because I think it's important for you to see me as like a whole person. Because when you really think about it, education really is just about communication. And so I think that if you see me as a full person, and I see you as a full person, that kind of gets us on the same page a little quicker than if you think of just like a grading robot who's mean and harsh. So let's be people together. Okay, so I was actually born in New Mexico, but I spent most of my younger years in Guam. For those of you who don't know what Guam is, it's a small little island in the Pacific, and it's closest to the Philippines probably. Here is what Guam looks like. This is my first grade class. I bet you can't guess which one is me. Yes, it's the bright spot right there. There's me holding a coconut crab or panglao. And then here I am, a coconut tree. There is my husband, if you can believe it. Yes, I've known him since I was 2. And there's my dad building a dome house. And for those of you who don't know what a dome is, it's like a half circle, like a sphere. And it's made out of concrete and styrofoam. And he built it from scratch. And we lived in that. Most of the time we lived in it, about 5 years. It was just under construction the entire time. So pretty cool childhood, I think. I am married now, as I mentioned here. Here is my husband, Douglas. And there's my daughter. I have 2 children. I have a daughter who just turned 7 and a son who is 3 years old. So I apologize in advance if we're in a meeting and they come barging in. My husband he works from home as well, so he'll be helping with that some, but I'm sorry, I have children around. I can't really do much about that. Here I am at my wedding. I like to put this picture in here because I think it shows you that I'm a little bit of a funky person. Here I am hula hooping at my wedding, so I feel like that sort of sums me up. I'm a bit kooky, so yay! Here's my puppy. We just got her. She's 3.5 months old now, so she's a cutie. I love her. Okay, I also like to talk a little bit about my travels, just because I think, again, that's sort of who I am as a person. I've been a lot of places. Here is Hong Kong, and most of Hong Kong is just sort of like an ultra-urban metropolitan area. But if you go to the island off it, Lantau Island off of it, it's a bit more rural. And that's where they have the world's largest sitting Buddha, which I actually found by accident. We were just sort of wandering around and we're like, what's that in the mist? And we also just sort of wandered upon some sort of boat festival, which was a really amazing experience as well. This is in China. This is Zhangjiajie, which is a national sort of park in China. We went there because my husband's wife was from China. So we were just wandering around China there. Went to Great Wall of China and all those places also. But I like this one here because if you've ever seen the movie Avatar and you know the floating mountains, this is where they took the footage for that movie. Okay, so it gets just like this jutting up fingers of land, just go like just up into the sky, just really, really tall fingers of land. And all they did was they just filmed it, CGI'd out the bottom, and there you go. So it really is just magnificent to see. Here we have Palau, and this is my husband swimming through a bunch of jellyfish. This is called Jellyfish Lake for obvious reasons. And the cool thing about that is you're just sort of floating around in the jellyfish, and they're just like jellyfish everywhere. And this right here is a crocodile, and this right here is me, like 10 feet from the crocodile. So I like this picture because if you've ever go to Disneyland, you go on the Jungle Boat cruise, that's what it was like, but it was like real life with real creatures. So that was an amazing experience as well. So again, the whole reason for me to show you these pictures is just so you can get a feel for who I am as a person, so that we can sort of start to get to know each other. I'm hoping that throughout the semester I get a chance to get to know you guys as well. I'll be posting sort of just for fun little discussion posts. They're completely optional, but I would like to encourage you to go ahead and post on this just so that you can get to know your other classmates, they can get to know you, because I really want to try to create a classroom environment as much as possible. And the last thing I want to do is talk a little bit about my expectations. Please make sure that you do the little survey that I sent out. That survey is important for me to kind of understand and sort of who's in my class and make sure I understand all of that. So that talks about what your expectations of yourself are, what your expectations of me are, but let me be very clear and communicate my expectations of you as well. And they're all very basic. The first one is just be respectful. And I think this is a really good reminder, especially for online, because sometimes when you're online, you're just you and the screen, right? You forget that there are other people on the other side of that screen who are going to read your words and maybe feel a little bit hurt by your words, okay? So I definitely want a lot of collaboration. I definitely want a lot of opinions shared, but we can do so with respect. So let's try to strive for that. Another thing that's probably even more important than that first one is proactive. And what I mean by that is I get a lot of students communicate to me that they feel like, especially in online, you're by yourself. Like you're learning by yourself. And I really, really wanted to impress upon you that it does not have to be like that. You do not have to be by yourself. I am here to help you. We also have a wonderful embedded tutor. Most likely it's going to be Kimberly, which I really hope, because she's been with me for 3 semesters. She really knows her stuff. She's very, very friendly and really nice. We also have a wonderful tutoring center that is free, and you can make appointments. They say up to 3 times a week. So there's a lot of support out there. You just need to ask, right? So don't just sit around like, oh, I'm confused. Ask for the help that you need. I'm going to put that on you. It's your responsibility to ask. And lastly, just to push yourself. And what I mean by this is that this class is designed to be challenging. It's supposed to be challenging. You're not going to grow unless it's challenging, right? So what I need from you is just to go ahead and understand it and accept that it is going to be a challenging class. Now, I do recognize that there's varying degrees of academic preparation coming into the class. So it's important that you sort of figure out where you're at and then make a plan to get where you need to go. Okay, so don't waste any time being negative and wondering if you belong. Let me just tell you, yes, you belong. Now let's go ahead and get to work. Okay, so let's work together. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.